It was May 8th, 2010, around 4 p.m. Darren Gray was with his girlfriend and some of her family members. They were in Lafayette Park in Norfolk setting up for a child's birthday party. Like a lot of people, they were out enjoying a city park on a warm, sunny Saturday afternoon. While Darren was there setting up, a group of about 5 men approached him. He didn't know them, and for reasons still unclear, that group of men started attacking him, beating him, kicking him, punching him. One even took a glass bottle and hit him over the head with it. Defenseless and badly beaten, Darren tried to run, but he was shot 9 times and he was killed. As those shots rang out, people fled the scene. There were witnesses, but so far nobody has come forward to identify who pulled the trigger. And until someone does, this case remains unsolved. This is the Darren Gray story.
I remember that like it was yesterday.
It was a Saturday afternoon, sunny, great day for a picnic.
He got a text saying that it was supposed to be a birthday party here.
It's a place where families want to go and they want to have fun, they want to enjoy their day, they want to enjoy their kids.
I just felt this chill hit my body.
You know, they want to enjoy it without having to worry about being shot down and killed.
I said, something is not right.
Unfortunately, he showed up to his death.
Clearly evident that this man had been killed as a result of gun violence.
I haven't slept since Darren was killed. My whole life is dedicated to finding his killers.
It's just like a knife that you can't pull out because nobody would say who killed him.
For people not to come forward was somewhat of a surprise given the scenario of where the setting was.
Nobody has healed from his death because I don't know how to connect with anyone anymore.
Darren was the oldest of 5 and the glue that kept his family together. Coming up, we speak with his family members about his life and how his death shattered their world. A mama's boy is how Roycinda Alexander describes her oldest son, Darren. At just 24 years old, he was beaten and killed at a child's birthday party in Lafayette Park in Norfolk. His life was cut short, but he's not forgotten.
Well, I was 15 years old at the time, and we lived out Park Place. I was a single mom. Being mischievous, he was my first, but I wanted kids. Darren, he was my oldest. He was like my ride or die. Nobody teaches you how to be a mom. Nobody gives you instructions on how to handle a baby. But this baby right here, boy, he would eat stuff and he didn't have any teeth. Now tell me that wasn't a growing boy. He wanted to be older than he was. When I used to ask him how old he was and he was little, he used to tell me 16. And he was little, a baby. So yeah, he got away with more than my younger kids did. He was like the mama's boy.
He helped her become the better woman for the rest of her children. My brother, he was very energetic, charismatic, funny guy. I loved everything about him. I was the second child, so he was like my best friend, like my everything. Like it was just me and him, and we would go outside and play, we would joke, and then when we had more siblings, I was like, Dad, I gotta share you now. So then it was 5 of us, and I'm like, Dad, I don't like this anymore. But me and him still stayed close.
I didn't get a long time with him. 24 that's when you just starting to sow your wings, spread your wings and stuff.
That's why it's important to make memories, because that is the last thing that you're gonna have when God calls a person home.
If I could now, I would tell them, look, know the people that you hang around. You know, don't just trust everybody.
It sucks to have your heart ripped out your chest like that.
What do you remember about that day?
Getting a call from this young lady saying that my son had just been shot. And I dropped my phone and I ran. When I pulled up, I just see a whole bunch of people and I see the police and they won't let me in. They won't let me in here. I say, where's my son? Where's my son? And they say, right there. And all I see is his feet. Just his feet. And That was it.
You snatched her world away and you caused darkness on everyone.
So for me, May 8th never, in my weeks, in my days, every time that day is about to approach, is hell.
I never thought I would be here sitting talking about my son being killed like an animal. I just hope for justice for my son.
Police never found who pulled the trigger killing Darren, but evidence recovered at the scene connects 5 men to the attack. Coming up here from the detective who worked Darren's case and is still seeking answers today. Detective John Smith with the Norfolk Police Department was at the original crime scene on May 8th, 2010. He canvassed the area for evidence and spoke with potential witnesses in Darren's murder. But still, 12 years later, he is still searching for whoever is responsible for Darren's death.
My name's John Smith. I was scheduled to work the evening shift that day. It's a Saturday, best I remember. And I got called in early. We got a homicide at City Park, need you to come in and handle the case. And it was hot out. I remember that. Sunny, great day for a picnic. It's a place where families want to go and they want to have fun. They want to enjoy their day. They want to enjoy their kids. You know, they want to enjoy it without having to worry about being shot down and killed.
We had just walked in the house and I told my cousin, I said, I'm cold. She said, girl, you tripping. It's hot. I said, no, I'm cold. I said, I just felt this just chill hit my body.
I lived in Virginia Beach and I drove. I didn't stop at no light. I just couldn't get here fast enough.
I said, something is not right. Then my phone rang. She said, Darren just got shot. And I dropped to my knees.
I say, where's my son? Where's my son? And they say, right there. And I'm like, where? I'm looking like, where the ambulance? I'm just, where the ambulance? And they say, he right there. And all I see is his feet. It was horrible. I couldn't believe it. It was like I was in a dream. Like, I wanted him to get up. I couldn't believe he was down there. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. And I don't know why they did it. I want to know why. And the people that did it, they around here living their life. I'm struggling.
When I got there, crime scene tape was in place. There was a number of investigators that was already working their regular shift that had showed up to the scene. At first, without having any information to go on other than just crime scene evidence, cartridge casings and things of that nature, it was clearly evident that this man had been killed as a result of gun violence. I quickly learned after that there was a party, and it was related to the case.
He got a text saying that it was supposed to be a birthday party here, and that's why he showed up.
Typical hamburgers, hot dogs, buns, and sodas and things like that were scattered across the picnic table. Within the first few days or first few weeks of the case, that information started coming forward, naming some people that were allegedly involved or believed to be involved. And then out of that was born information that there was a fight of some sort, or a beat down or a beating that had took place either right before or kind of simultaneous to the shooting.
Before Darren was beaten by the group, Detective Smith says one of the men came over to Darren and shook his hand as a way of singling him out as the target among the other people who were there in the park. Then the group came together. That's when they attacked and beat Darren. Investigators and his family still say they don't know why he was the target.
How can you just kill somebody? And the way they killed him, beating them like a rag doll, busting them in the head, just doing all types of stuff, like he was roadkill. He was one person. Whatever the beef was, why did they have to kill him? First of all, they fought him. They beat him, hit him in the face with a bottle twice. Then they shot him. 2 people shot him 9 times. I don't understand. What was all that about? Let me know what the beef was. I can't get it. I don't understand it.
For a man to come to a party and shake your hand while you holding your baby, and then right after he shakes your hand, you're getting jumped, you're getting beat, you're getting hit in the head, that's kind of fishy to me.
It was one of those to signify this is the target. And there's one thing that it's down through the years that I've learned in my experience being a homicide detective and cold case and 4 years in forensics. Your evidence is not going to lie to you. In a perfect world, it's always nice to have the gun laying there with the casings and eyewitnesses and videotape and DNA and fingerprints and all that, and the suspect saying I did it in a perfect world, right? But in scenarios like this, you know, without a ballistic match tying in that firearm being used in another crime in another city or another state, it's hard to drive back to the owner of that firearm and who last had it, who purchased it, was it reported stolen, those types of things. So that makes it difficult. We never had the evidence on who shot Darren like we had the evidence on who beat Darren. And that's been the difficult part of this case, is finding out who pulled the trigger.
5 men were ultimately arrested and charged with malicious wounding by mob for the beating of Darren Gray. Lamar Corey pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 15 years in prison with 9 years and 6 months suspended. Central Copeland's DNA was found on a bottle cap at the scene, and he ultimately pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Rashawn Jones pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 10 years with 7 years and 1 month suspended. Michael Mario Moore was found guilty by a jury and was sentenced to 8 years. Darius Jenkins was arrested, but his charges were set aside. Although 4 men have served time for beating Darren, has justice been served in his death? When we come back, Detective Smith has the answer. Five men were charged with malicious wounding by mob for the beating of Darren Gray, but 12 years later, no one's been held responsible for his death. Detective Smith and Darren's mother explain why justice has yet to be served.
I thought Park Place loved us. I've been here since I was young, raised my kids here. It was always a close-knit community. So when my son got killed, I didn't understand why nobody didn't say anything. Because if it happened to your son or your daughter or parent or something, you want somebody to say something. I don't think it's right, 12 years, we still walk around here and ain't nobody saying nothing. And now it's a cold case. When the police told me, said that word, cold case, I broke to my knees. Cold case, to have your son's information in a box with all the, you know, his photos, crime scene photos and bloody clothes and all of that stuff. That's a nightmare. No parent should ever have to go through it. I haven't slept since Darren was killed. My whole life is dedicated to finding his killers because it's unsolved. He was like the glue to the family because he was the first. So I just hope for justice for my son. I never thought I would be here sitting talking about my son being killed like an animal. When he died, this broke the family up.
You know, it's hard because you got families that want answers and you want to be able to give them the answers. And sometimes the only answer you can give them is we've done all we can do. I mean, it was something that happened in broad daylight. You had a bunch of people out there. And so just, you know, for people not to come forward was, you know, somewhat of a surprise given the scenario of where the setting was. I think every case it has the potential to be solved. Will all cases be solved? No. In this particular case, you're dealing with 2 crimes. You're dealing with a crime of murder and you're dealing with a crime of malicious wounding. For the murder aspect of it and dealing with that as a separate offense, then justice has not been served. I think there are somebody or a group of people, a person or persons, that either have direct knowledge or indirect knowledge of who killed Darren. I want to hear the names of the people that, or the person that was responsible. Justice in this case is, let's get the person that pulled the trigger.
It sucks to have your heart ripped out your chest like that. It was 5 of us, you know, and we were close when we were younger. But to know people know, that's a slap in the face, because like my mom said, no one wants to talk until it happens to them.
It's just like a knife that you can't pull out, because nobody would say who killed them.
Even with the case that's been solved, you're never gonna bring that person back. The family's never gonna get their loved one back. When you kill a person, you don't just kill that person, you kill the family members. You kill the mother, the father, the brother, the sister, the aunt, uncle. You ravage the family, you wreak havoc through the fabric of the family, and they have hard times dealing with this, waking up every morning knowing that there's a murderer on the loose.
And people always say, well, you'll get over it. You'll heal. We don't heal, so stop saying it.
I love you, Darren.
Nobody has healed from his death, because I don't know how to connect with anyone anymore. So thank you, killers. That's how you left us.
If you have any information that can help solve this case, you can submit an anonymous tip to the crime line. You can go online, www.p3tips.com. And if you have a story that you'd like us to investigate, email us at investigates@wavy.com. I'm Maria Elena Valores. Good night.